Hey guys, Trevor H here. Thanks for joining us on another Who Are We podcast episode. I have a special guest with me, Chinwenmeri Ikemchima. How you going? I hope I got that right.
Hey. Yeah, you got my name right.
And thanks for joining us today.
Thank
All the way
you. Pleasure is
from
mine.
all the way from Nigeria. That's amazing. So just a little disclaimer before we get going. We're just going to record this session and we're going to upload it to YouTube and do some promotions or whatever on LinkedIn or whatever, just to get a bit of awareness. So we're just talking about identity and who we are and what we're up to in life, and just trying to create an environment where it's okay to talk about ourselves and okay to express who we are, and hopefully provide other people inspiration or motivation and to look at who they are to hopefully create better outcomes in the world. That's what this is about, just a bit of fun, nothing too serious. So thanks for volunteering your time and joining me here today. So we might just get straight into it. Who is
Okay.
Chinwenmeri and what does she stand for?
Okay, so Chinwenmeri is an Igbo girl from Abia State, Nigeria. And I am all about growth. I'm all about happiness. I'm all about love. Growth in the sense of finding my identity, my values, my systems, and what I stand for. I stand for the fact that as a woman, I have to stand my ground in my environment, in the economy, and I have to make a name for myself. Okay, so I believe so much in working hard. I believe so much in having goals and achieving your goals, like setting them and achieving them. I believe so much in breaking records, and I believe so much in utilizing my youth to influence the world. I believe that my youth is a gift, and working it towards using my gifts to influence nations. You understand? Like, let other youths know that okay, being young is beautiful, and you can bring up something from your youth. So yeah, that is what Tremor is about.
Yeah, that's amazing. So growth, happiness, and love. You just expressed, that they're three of your core values, and something
Yes.
that you look to incorporate in your life, which is amazing. But I'm interested to hear perspective from being a woman. You talk about having to stand your ground and working hard. Do you feel that that's important in your culture? And where you live there in particular, or is that just something in general you feel that women need to do more of, or where's that coming from?
Okay, it's coming from a girl who has watched other women, from Nigeria,
Yeah,
influence her world. We have people who are really influencing the world and changing Nigeria's narrative. We have people like Chimamanda Adichie. We have people like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. These are Nigerian females who are making, a name for Nigeria in the diaspora economy, in West Africa, in other nations aside Africa, you know, and all those good stuff. So yeah, this is a girl who has seen these people throw the part, and then you're like, okay, so they did this, and then we can also do it. The younger generation can do these things and even do greater things. Okay, so yep, that's where it's coming from.
So you've seen a lot of great things, a lot of role models that you've seen doing amazing stuff as you grew up, and then you feel now that you're at that age, it's time to you to show the path for the younger generation, or to move forward and be that inspiration to create better
Yes,
outcomes for you.
actually.
Yeah, that's inspiring. And you talk about working hard. Can you explain a bit about that? So what does that look like for you?
Okay, working hard actually is breaking up limitations and distractions to achieve your goals. So this year I'm actually working on a team that says no procrastination and more proactiveness. So that's my whole vision for the year. So at every goal I have set for every month, I'm pushing myself through, you're not procrastinating this thing. You said you're going to do this podcast today. So you have to do this podcast today. You're not pushing it no matter what, because something terrible just happened to me like a few minutes back, and I'm trying to like cope with it. And then to remember that I have a recording. So I'm like, okay, I switched to my system. I'm like, let's get this done, because we cannot procrastinate no matter the odds. We cannot procrastinate. So that's it. So hard work is don't procrastinate and be proactive. Be proactive. Be very, very solution oriented. Something happened. Don't cry over it. Get up, hit the ground running, move to the next agenda. So that's basically what hard work is for me. It is working smart to achieve your goals, not necessarily like putting all the label and making sure that you're sweating. Are you working smart and as much as you're working hard? So yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, so that's amazing. So you value, and thanks for sharing that. So it sounds like you value social connection is a big part of what I got out of that. And I also heard that you have monthly goals that you targets that you try and hit throughout the year to try and get to where you want to be.
Yes, I do.
That's amazing. Yeah, and you find that works very well for you. That's great.
Yeah, it does. It does
Yeah.
actually.
And
it brings
and the,
fulfillment,
yep.
It brings fulfillment. Like when you like you come back at the end of the month and you take it, you're okay, I did this month, I didn't do this, I'm gonna move it to the next month, stuff like that. And then at the end of the year, you see that you lived your 365 days in a very fulfilling way. So yeah.
That's amazing. And you use the word procrastinate. That's something that I'm guilty of a lot. That's and ahhing and ifing and butting and getting distracted and finding excuses. And that's something it sounds like you're working hard to try to avoid.
Honestly, because procrastination is just in human nature, because you always want to be in your comfort zone. You always really want to be okay, you really want to be relaxed, but then you don't achieve while changing goals in your comfort zone.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And that's one of your values is you're going to change the world and get better outcomes for people. And thank you for taking the time and fighting through that fear or that procrastination and appearing with us today. It's great. Let me just have a look here. So setting goals and influence. So you mentioned monthly goals and working smart to achieve them goals. So we sort of touched on your growth and what about your happiness and love? Have you got anything expanding on that? How does that work for you?
Okay, happiness is a lifestyle. You can't just let whatever is going on in the outside world affect you on the inside. So once you open your door and you come outside, you're like, everything that's going on here, it's not going to take the joy that I have on the inside. So I'm gonna bring out that joy from my inside and then exchange it with what the world is giving me. So everybody right now, like let's say in the world, you have like really major people who are depressed because come to think of it, life is evolving and is not even funny on anybody's side at the moment. So still being happy amidst what is happening, amidst what you're hearing on the news, what you're seeing around you. So yeah, so love is okay, I'm going to spread love. I'm going to treat everybody right. I'm going to respect every other person's emotions. I'm going to, treat every human being as, the way Christ would treat us, the way Christ loves us. So I'm going to love them equally because you don't even know what someone else is passing through. So you can't even put your own body on someone else. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're going to love the person no matter how the person behaves. You don't judge. You just say, okay, they might be going through a phase and okay, let's make excuse for them, right? They will move on in love and peace and happiness. So yeah, that's what I'm basically about.
That's amazing. So I've had a couple of guests say that, and the way that they worded it is having unconditional happiness, and happiness is a choice. These are words that I've heard a few times, and it sounds like that's the same sort of message that you're spreading there with your message of happiness. It's a choice to be happy and choose to be happy regardless if the world's caving in around you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good, and spreading love. So yeah, so have you got any final messages before we finish up here?
Okay, I actually do. I do
Yeah,
have. Okay, so when I got the topic, the topic we're looking at and the topic we're analyzing, I saw identity exploration. Am I right?
yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to say a little about self-esteem and
Yes.
self-image, self-worth. Identity exploration is that stage or that degree at which you're trying to find yourself, you're trying to know your talent, your worth, your strengths and your weaknesses. And I feel like that's a stage where a whole lot of youths are right now, both in Nigeria and across the world. And I'm letting this out there to everybody. Don't be hard on yourself, okay? Identity exploration is a gradual process. It doesn't just happen like all of a sudden. It's not an accidental thing. It's a gradual process, and you can't really know yourself if you don't search from within. Honestly, you can't really know yourself if you don't search from within. If you don't, if you're not observant enough, there are little things you could literally know your weaknesses at situations, at events. You could know your strength at everything that life passes at you. Okay, so one of the key ways to finding yourself and knowing who you are and what you stand for is honesty. You gotta be honest with yourself. There's this adage that I used to hear. It says there are people you don't like to. You don't like to God. You don't like to yourself, you don't lie to your doctor, and unfortunately you don't lie to the devil. Okay, so yeah, you don't actually lie to the devil. So if you lie to yourself, then you're going to live your whole life as a mirage. You won't understand, where you're going to, where you're coming from, what you ought to do at the moment. So you will just be, swaying by any doctrine or anywhere the wind of faith just blows you to. Do you understand? So it is very wrong for you to do that. And then the second thing about identity exploration is for you to learn. You really have to be open to learn from yourself, right? Learn from your growth. Okay, so like life sends us messages that help us in the passage of the journey through life. So at every time that something happens to you, there's a message from every experience of your life. So if you're doing this thing and it's not going well, and you realize that, oh, it's not going well, what message have you learned from that relationship, from that job or stuff like that? Learn the message and move on. This is one thing I tell my friends a lot. Learn the message from whatever has happened and then move on, because life is moving, so you have to move also. Okay, so the question of who you are and what you stand for will really help you dissolve your low self-esteem. Honestly, if you begin to discover yourself, know your strengths, you begin to appreciate your body more, you begin to appreciate your personality more, and then your self-worth, your competence, your how do I put this, your strengths and your self-discovery will come out, and you not actually need people to dictate for you what happens to you or what happens in your life or where you go and stuff like that. So that is my word out there. Discover yourself, people.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And self determination. It sounds like you're describing there. And take so being honest with yourself. Learn the lessons that life's trying to give you, and don't dwell on it. Just keep moving forward. There's an old saying. I don't know whether you have it over there, but generally, if you look to the past too much, you get stuck in depression, and if you worry about the future too much, you get absorbed in anxiety. And they talk about staying
Actually,
in the here and now, and that's similar to what you're talking about. Is listen to the message that life's given you and learn from it, and continue on. So that's amazing. So yeah, thanks for sharing that.
yeah.
And so,
Actually,
self,
to add to what
yeah,
you're saying, sorry,
yeah,
to add to what you're saying, I was in a conference recently, and one of the speakers said something that really changed my life. He said,
yeah,
life is a journey, not a destination. He said,
yeah.
life is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy every moment of it. Like
That's
you
right.
have to
That's
just
right.
enjoy it now, because life is a journey, not a destination.
And that's exactly right. Because in an environment of continuous improvement, if we end up achieving our goal, then we're not going to just stay there and just rest on them laurels. We're going to find the next goal, and that was just a stepping stone. So we will never get there, because with the continuous improvement, even if we do get to where we're going, then we can aim higher or go further with our journey, like you say. So that's a very good advice, or very good saying, I suppose. You know, life is a journey. It's not a destination. So yeah, and enjoy every moment, because sometimes I don't know whether you feel it over there, but sometimes you get caught up in the rush. In the modern world tries to rush us, and we try to get caught up in our own lives, I suppose, and we forget to sort of. I've done a few posts on it today. You know, just pause for a second, take a breath, and soak it in. You know, soak in life. Yeah, so so that's great. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, it's been nice talking to you. And we'll put your post on your put your episode on the website, and hopefully we can stay in touch and keep up on what's going on, and feel free to ask any questions or work out. So if someone wants to contact you, are you contactable on LinkedIn, or you don't mind taking messages and that sort of thing, or do you help people? Have you got any promotions or anything you want to plug while you're here?
Okay, so you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can reach out to me on Instagram. On LinkedIn, it's Chinwenmeri Ikemchima. On Instagram, it's the Chinwenmeri Ikemchima, or adversary writer, because I'm a poet. As much as I'm a mental health advocate, but I'm a poet. I'm a writer, right? So you can reach out to me on those two major platforms. You could also reach out to me on WhatsApp. I will drop my number later.
Yep. Okay. No, that's great. And I love your bright shirt and your earring. You got a really good look with a nice smile to match. It's been a real pleasure getting to know you today.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Have a good evening, eh?
You too.
See ya. Bye.
You too. Bye. Yeah. Bye.